the influence of the diamond cartels um, establishes how governments operate. So the diamond cartels, we could say, well, they're private operations of organized coercion, which could also be called things like gangsters or mafia or whatever. And they establish themselves, the one that's dominant and excludes all the others, punishes all the others, punishes their competitors, and monopolizes a certain regional jurisdiction. They're called a government. And when the diamond cartel is successful and establishes a government in an area, they can say things like, "Oh, we're against apartheid, and we're against um, uh, private companies interfering with public bureaucracy, public politics." Well, the diamond cartels or any other group that says we're against private influence over public um, policy, they're probably the ones who set up those um, legal systems and support those legal systems, and then they disseminate propaganda about how private people shouldn't um, use their personal interests and special interest group pressure to lobby government and bribe government. That's just immoral. Well, why do they say that? They're monopolizing their own influence. So this gets back to, again, magic and myth and words. Money is not necessarily so important now that we put all this into other contexts, but I did want to speak a little bit about money because many people have some kind of myth about money that they actually believe. They don't see the magic of money. They say things like um, people are just making claims and declaring a certain thing to be money, and that's immoral. Well, they're just repeating the propaganda myths. Gold to be used as money, or silver, or copper, or salt, or any other commodity that's ever been used as uh, legal tender for payment of taxes, in other words, money. Any of those substances was declared the officially accepted substance, or the officially accepted money, or the officially accepted payment for taxes, or the officially um, accepted money for racketeering uh, protection, bribery. If you want to have our insurance policy cover you of our mafia, then here's what you use to pay us. Um, we tell you the exchange rate, we tell you the percentage, um, and we also say things like, you no longer live there. When Castro came into Cuba and took private property from lots and lots of people, he basically said, okay, that's ours now. That's not yours anymore. When in West Africa in the 1990s, um, governments or gangs come in and say, okay, you no longer have the right to um, live in that area, and now you work for us. You're going to come and work at our diamond mining operation, and we're going to pay you this much. Well, it's not slavery because people did get compensation. So, they gave them food, they gave them housing. It's more like imprisonment or drafting them into an army. Um, I don't know that slavery would actually be technically the right term because um, people were compensated. But if they didn't have any choice, then it's certainly, we might call it conscription. Um, there's a lot of words we could use: communism, fascism, slavery, um, martial law, all those kind of things. You can see how all this stuff is kind of related. So a group comes in and says, hey, you Native Americans, you don't have the legal right to be here anymore. If you want to be here, here's how much it costs you to stay here. And also, Here's the rules that now apply to you. Here's how much you owe us of whatever you produce, and you owe us 10% or 40% of your income or whatever, your productivity. Those kinds of colonial declarations are common throughout the world and throughout many centuries. There's nothing really special about gold being used for money, or silver, or salt, or diamonds, or paper coupons, or financial contracts written on paper like dollar bills or any other financial contract. Electronic currency, that's certainly, it's distinctive, but the basis of all of these currency systems is organized violence. You can't say this is the only legal currency around here and have that work very well unless you've got organized violence to back it up. And so, one of the most successful operations of organized violence in human history is the United States of America, a global tyranny with tremendous effectiveness. Certainly, there are other imperialist or other empires that have been quite successful. The Persian Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, the British Empire, the Spanish Empire, lots and lots of empires have been tremendously successful. Even the Soviet Union could be considered an empire as of parts of the 20th century. We would call that the evil empire. Another thing, whenever the politicians of one empire are referring to another empire, they're going to call it the evil one. And whenever a politician is referring to their own empire, they're going to call it the just one, the moral one, the good one, the Holy Roman Empire. Now, who called the Holy Roman Empire holy? Mostly the Romans. So that gives you, again, some perspective on these words. Again, myths are what you get when you string words together. The difference between you and God is entirely constructed in language. I is a symbol in language. God is a symbol in language. Myths are words put together, lots of them. Magic is any kind of influence. Words are a particular kind of magic or influence. Myths are a particular way of using words. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Feel free to comment and share. I'm J.R. Fibonacci. You're welcome to look me up on Facebook, J.R. Fibonacci, or on my WordPress blog, or check out thedominoileffect.com or oneeyedkingswealthclub.com. That's it for now. Be careful with those words.